Yeah, LGFY going to basically be the determining factor in all this.
Which is actually going to be a hard game for LFY. So this series is actually a big deal.
It's a huge deal. I mean, it's going to be so tough for OG because even no matter how hard you work, doesn't matter how well you play, you will not know until that game is played tomorrow. So they're probably going to be setting their alarm clocks watching that one with some sweaty palms. So I really wish I could bring up that draft. If it's not available for me, but let's recap. How's that memory?
Dazzle, Nyx were first pick versus the Kunkka on the other side.
Damn, look at you go.
And then I don't remember the second pick, but I remember it was
Kunkka,
Brew.
Visage.
Oh yeah, Brew, Drow, and then
Oh, it was
Puck.
Visage. It was the Visage game, wasn't it?
Puck.
And then it was after the Dazzle and Nyx, it was Storm Spirit was picked fourth.
You're good at this.
I don't remember the other two though.
No. Wow, we just got like 7 out of.
Oh, Tidehunter was last.
Tidehunter was the last pick, which I remember said some doubt.
It wasn't Troll, was it? No.
It could have been.
Wouldn't that be funny if they like picked a hero that by the end of today they're like, wait, that hero's not in the meta. This is a mistake.
Yeah.
We just learned something in the last 6 hours.
Oh, that would be a disaster for them. I mean, the reason for this delay, it's probably worth reminding you guys, Yapsaw having to be rushed off to hospital just to make sure everything was okay. A little bit of a disaster just after the draft. Obviously, not much you can do about that. We are human beings after all. I know it's easy to forget, but they get to play. He is back and he is well enough to be competing, and we get to see Secret hopefully on top form up against OG. I mean, who is the favorite? If you just saw the names on paper, who is the favorite?
Easy
here?
OG.
Easy
slightly.
OG. But where does that addition come from? Where's the slightly? Is that just because of the recent OG outside of Epicenter?
And Secret's inconsistency.
Okay.
Can you say inconsistency though? Because they wreck group stages and then they lose in the first round afterwards. Does that count as consistency issues?
I guess they're consistently doing the same thing.
Inconsistent.
I see what you're going for though.
Because they're still in the group stage, you guys. There's a pattern here.
Oh, I see.
They do the same thing every time. I guess that is the consistent in terms of
With that said, OG is definitely underperforming compared to their group stage typical performances. They maybe drop one set, but they don't do super bad. So they're definitely underperforming right now. The fact that they've got not only this series they have to win, but also a different series has to go their way is a really weird place for OG to be in. Maybe it's the tournament format, but definitely it is the game circumstances as well. That first day where they lost to LFY, that really changed things up for them.
Yeah, they have had a couple of curveballs thrown their way. You're playing the one game, taking a break, and then now coming in playing this one when they weren't sure they were going to play it. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for them. We haven't heard much from you, Winter, in terms of your kind of where you gauge these two teams. You know, if you were playing, you know, in a coaching seat, who would you be more worried about playing?
10 seconds remaining.
Probably OG.
Okay.
Probably OG.
And what's the thought process that's behind that? Is that just the fact that, I mean, is it the prestige of the tournaments they've won recently? You cannot forget that these guys, of course,
I think if
are defending champions of the major.
If I'm playing a BO3 or BO5, I'll be more worried against OG. But if I'm playing, let's say, a BO1, I'll be more worried against Secret. Because Secret, sometimes they get like those like one game, very good strats, and then they just beat you.
You mean cheese?
Yeah.
They're a little cheesy.
Yeah, I mean,
Cheesy Secret.
you find a way to win, doesn't matter how, but there's always going to be, every team uses different way, cheese, whatever.
Okay, interesting. It does sound like the game is ready though. Now, where did our predictions lie before we threw to the casters?
With the Drow strat.
It was the Drow.
Yeah,
Faith in Drow. You were casting, so...
Supposed to be.
Yeah, but I'm sorry about that. Actually, yeah, you missed out on a chance to experience some sexy Dota from the caster desk. But did you throw a prediction on it? Let's just end with you.
I don't remember the lineups, so I'm gonna pass.
You're gonna just
Is that okay?
That's okay. Tap out.
We have 9 out of the 10.
We got roughly there. Got to see some Drow.
I'm gonna have to see with my eyes. I can't.
All right, we'll do that. We'll talk to Kevin though when we get back in the post-match. We have to get some Dota done first. Your casters are in the sidelines waiting to jump on into that limelight. Let's see how this plays out as there's one more game before we have everything locked in for playoffs.
Thank you very much, Alex. Well, I like cheese gods. I just had 4 solid slices. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling lactose intolerant as well. So you
Please keep it inside. Yeah.
I want to stay over there.
God.
But I'm personally I'm liking Secret Strap this game. They get a stable team fight offlaner for Kezu, something that Winter was a little critical of his bristleback, but this certainly fits the mold. You put mid one on that flashy playmaking hero as they will snag him the storm. So I'm digging Secret in this game. How about you?
They're going to kill No-Tail here. Gush and Pale. This is a lot of damage at least.
No-Tail taking heavy punishment early on.
Another Gush soon, but he will get to tower.
Yeah, he did have to skill Gush, so.
Yeah, that's also not really ideal.
Ideal.
It's a ward down, but they knew that Tide have the ward, so they can at least try and figure out where he may have planted it. But yeah, going to the lane with level 1 Gush. Pretty rough for a Tide, but has a lot of regen, so at least can work around that. And we'll see what the Visage Drow lane can do to deal with him. I do think Secret has the more like pre-standard execution. You know what they're going to do. It's like nothing unusual about their draft, but draft Visage, heavy push, the puck can dominate mid lane. This is the draft that is looking to end the game fast and on a bit of a timer for OG.
As often the Drow drafts, but not always are. Like if you see the Dusa or something, maybe you can take it a lot later, but
Yep.
not the case this time around. So the early invasion does net some good aggressive wards here for Secret. They've gotten one down mid, one down bottom. Also dropped another ward in the corner of the spawn box to block the camp. So trying to limit the early farm for Fly in this safe lane. We'll just be Kezu heading bottom on his own for now. We'll see if Yapzor lends him an assist. Looks like he is going to start there. So running the 2-1-2 for Secret, running a 1-1-3 from the looks of things for OG.
Yeah, Yapzor having a poor man shield really suggests he's going aggressive, wanting to most likely contest more of the bottom lane. This poor man shield thinks it's like what you'd expect out of an offlane Nyx build, and he is going to be there just helping out the Tide. He needs even more help now that he's got the level 1 Gush as well, but we'll see. Yapzor versus Jarex, the two flashy full position players. That's going to be probably the interesting matchup to look up as this series progresses.
Meanwhile, top lane, S4. Definitely going to have his work cut out for him here against the Troll and the Dazzle. That heal bomb is a real problem. Can't rely on your evasion to deal with it. Do want to point out S4 saving his skill points for now. Has not decided what he wants to take, but
There you go. Gets the haze.
in the end, it will be the haze.
Yeah, good. Pops his salve early, but he's got a lot of regen. We're seeing the offlane played kind of differently. Double tangos plus salve, normally the build nowadays. Mid lane, look at the harass with the Drought Aura. Mid one is getting bullied.
Dropping the salve now. Will regen his way back up, but definitely getting the best of mid one, at least early on, as Yapzor scouts things out in this bottom lane. Doesn't see the opening, but it's a 2v3, so it's tough for Secret to get a whole lot done early.
Important thing to this bottom lane is the sentry missed the D ward, so they had to bring out a second one, so it took them a long time to open access for this camp. Mid lane.
Mid one and all kinds of trouble. He will eat the tree. Ana trying to cut him off for that uphill auto attack. He finds it. Well, it's not really a fair fight for the Storm, but mid one gets punished early. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, maybe a trade. No, good body block by Fly so far. Yaps are not able to complete the dive for the kill, so advantage early here to OG.
Boy, oh boy, Notel getting pressured heavily. Level 1 Gush when you've got a partner, pretty nice because it can guarantee an impale and guarantee a couple right clicks for some good damage. Yapzor though, has he pressed too far at this bottom lane?
Oh,
Takes a lot of damage. Luckily the tower was not able to get any extra hits off on him.
meanwhile, Jarex, the Rune Lord, just racking up the bounty runes, snagging a double damage as well. And moving on mid one in the mid lane, if he hits a Tor, this is an extremely dead Storm. And what's concerning is he doesn't have any vision of this rotation, gods. Gonna fish with the Torrent off the mark.
Wanting to cancel that salve, doesn't find it, but the double null with the Drought Aura is what's going to just destroy this lane. Mid
91 versus 67 damage right now. This is brutal for mid one. Of course, you get a little bit from the overload, so you know it's not exactly accurate with the base damage, but it's very tough to trade here.
Problem is when Puck's hitting you, and if you're trying to hit him, he'll phase shift dodge you, so you can't really trade hits all too easily. And then if you're trying to hit him, he's going to line up his spells.
Puppy continue to add the harass here to S4. MP looking for the first hit. Bash, oh, actually doesn't need it. The heal bomb does it. Secret finding a kill up top. Well played by them.
Yeah, some good aggression. Getting the early second point in Whirling Axes. You see a lot of these safe lane trolls go for like a 4-1-4 build, but MP, knowing he's kind of the fighting core for Secret, going for the more aggressive build.
So anything really surprise you? Oh, bottom lane. Yep, so we're going to find the Impale here. And meanwhile, a decent Torrent by Jarex. Looking to turn the tides, but that Nyx able to run him down. Now they X-Kezu. They have some decent charges on Soul Assumption here, but it is only level 1. So Fly's going to have to disengage. The stun comes through. Secret looking for a bit more. The Gush again, combining with that Anchor Smash. Secret's dual lane popping off. They find 2 kills bottom, and they live to tell the tale.
Yeah, they are off to such a good start, forcing the early harass on a no-tail shoot through the start of his tangos. He's taking even more. He went for an early ring of regen just to try and sustain himself in this lane, but boy, is he struggling to get anything here, and that is a bit of a concern. You don't mind your Drow being pressured if your other lanes are going well, but only the mid lane is being won. The off lane is not an easy lane for S4 to play in.
Jarex continues to rack up runes this game. We'll grab the regen bottom. Lobs out the torrent. But now has to run. Fortunately, preventing YapzOr from getting that. And now he's going to look for the bounty rune. Won't be there for him. Already picked up, but not able to get a whole lot else done on the Kunkka. That first rotation towards mid did not work out. Basically, it's just been the rune so far.
Yep.
So, I mean, by Jarex standards, where, like, we saw the last time he played Kunkka, he got a double kill mid and almost single-handedly, it felt like, was winning the game. Obviously, we all know what he can do with Earth Spirit and Tusk. This is a relatively quiet start.
Yep, we talked about the Battle of the Fours so far. YapzOr having the better of this matchup, but that may change as Jarex is mid with the Dream Coil.
This is tough for mid one, at least for now. Ana engaging onto him, but the Torrent's not going to connect. Mid one outplays him, and now Ana's going to go down. Very well done. Puppey coming in a bit late, but wasn't actually needed for that fight.
Yeah, and YapzOr then pops the clarity. He's just being a constant nuisance, but it was, yeah, Puppey, the saving grace when that dive went out is... That's a big punish. Getting the first Dream Call wasted and the turnaround kill in the Puck, that pretty much equalizes what was a very Puck-dominated mid lane. Puck still has the net worth advantage, but mid one gets his level 6 and is able to fall back and jungle a bit off of this.
They're setting up on bottom again, swarming in onto Fly. The 2-hero impales there, beautifully done by YapzOr. Now the Gush coming through. That Anchor Smash is gonna hurt, but not enough to bring Fly down. We'll force him on his heels. KheZu retreating for now. And they're going to get the Arcane Boot soon, so they can really fuel this aggression, the spam on the bottom lane.
Oh, that's going to be, yeah, really tough to deal with when you can just constantly Gush, Anchor Smash, throw Impales. OG won't be able to hold their own at bottom at that point. They'll have to dedicate 3 heroes constantly to it. Another route for Jarex. But not sure he can achieve too much with this haste. Just denies it from the annoying Nyx Assassin.
Where does YapzOr go next? Rotating towards mid. Maybe expecting the jump to come on mid one. It's already a 2,000 gold lead for Secret against a Drow lineup. Just shows you how crucial that turnaround play in the mid lane was. And they get eyes on Jarex. YapzOr, though, unfortunately has been scouted out. They're going to torrent him. Orb committed, but he's able to heal up, survives through this initial damage. The rotation comes in. Again, it's Puppey saving the day. Apparently, YapzOr needs his nose bloodied more often because he is stepping up his game here. OG, another death for them.
Yikes, that is some great turnaround play. YapzOr having the stick. They just did not anticipate for that heal coming in from YapzOr's magic stick. They maybe just hadn't kept tabs of how many charges he had. They get the kill without it, but the insta-heal, Dazzle then shows up as an insurance policy, but even without Puppey's TP, that was going to end poorly for them, so...
It was one of those weird plays where, like, OG saw YapzOr in the trees because of their ward, but I don't think they saw him drop his ward because he moved into Fog. Yeah. So they didn't realize the Kunkka was actually scouted, which made Puppey very quick on the rotation. Caught them a bit by surprise.
For OG, they really need to try and destabilize. Hit level 6 on Drow, as well as Brewmaster. That's where they can start grouping up, going for some 5-man push plays. The Brew ulti can kind of protect the Drow Ranger, and then having the marksmanship will give them a lot of extra damage output.
Great start here, by all accounts, for Secret. And, of course, there is a troll freely farming up top. Haven't really had a whole lot to say about that lane. MP 51 and 26, as you would expect. Not easy for a Brewmaster, and what's been mostly a 2v1, aside from those Dazzle TPs. S4 certainly struggling. So really everything going according to plan for Secret. If you're OG gods, how do you right the ship?
Yeah, I think smoking around level 6 on Brew could work. Problem is you've got very under-leveled supports, but the Puck Dream Call is a good enough initiation with a Brew split that you can definitely make plays happen.
Mid one going in pretty aggressively on Jarex here, but he's out of mana now. Won't be able to find the kill. Secret making the 3-hero move. They'll reset.
No kill for them, but ultimately got to be feeling pretty good about these lanes. They'll see that all 3 of their cores are farming well. They know they've killed the Drow once, and that no-tails itemization isn't really progressing all too fast. This Visage down bottom, this is definitely one of the biggest weaknesses of this hero, is he doesn't do well when he gets pressured. At the level 1, level 2 stages, Visage not very good, and the Drow Visage especially weak, because typically you want to pair Visage with a hero with a lot of burst damage so you can actually get the Soul Assumption up, but a Drow Ranger is not really the ideal hero to do that. So there's good synergy between the birds with the aura, but as far as the lane stage goes, a very weak lane.
OG do have a Veil of Discord now on Honest Puck, and they smoke up. rotating from the mid lane, from right to left on your screens, heading up to the north.
Like
hoping to find Puppey. Perhaps MP tucked away in the trees, but they do have a brew split backing this move up. So there's 4 heroes about to come in. A very powerful timing if they can get a decent initiation. But a scan comes through from the Dire and did see No Tail behind S4. Already Secret suspicious. MP's going to TP out. Puppey tucked in the trees, hiding for now, and instead they will sweep around towards mid, looking for an opening. But while that's all happening, this long and slow, laborious maneuver has not paid off because Secret were quicker on the draw. They find the kill bottom, taking that Visage out again. And now with the coil committed, YapzOr just trying to get himself in front of the orb so that he can stun this Puck, who does find a regen rune. Secret, again, one step ahead. Oh, X here, maybe with the Torrent combo from Ana. They don't have any fault detection by the looks of things. Looking for the turnaround now, dodging the stun, nicely done. Not easy with the level 1 phase shift, but they bring Kezu in. He's got Ravage, and here comes the flank. Secret ready to pounce. They've got the whole 5-man squad about to converge, but a great silence. Timed well. Can they kill off this Tide in time? No! He gets off the Ravage! A tentacle surprise! Not to OG's liking either. Ana, though, staying alive for now. Will be able to disable that regen rune. Mid 1, not able to complete the kill, so after all that, nobody died.
Ana did a great job with the phase shift there. Dodges a Nyx Impale and a Ravage. He was on point with his spell usage. Otherwise, he goes down on numerous occasions in that fight. They almost brought down the Tide. Visage, if he had mana for just one more Soul Assumption, would have been able to secure the kill. But because of that bad laning stage, Fly has no items. Doesn't have the magic stick, which would have given him some charges to use. Doesn't have anything to kind of sustain himself. And OG still probably pretty happy. Ravage comes out, tower top goes down. They do trade it for bottom, so it's a pretty even tower trade at this point. But ultimately, when you trade towers and a Ravage is burned, you're probably feeling okay for OG considering the bad start they had.
Yeah, certainly, I think they're fine with the way they've recovered. Helm of the Dominator now complete on No Tail. We've seen this build more from him recently, especially on the Drow Gods. Thoughts on the item? It's not a very popular item nowadays with the changes to it, but do you like the pickup?
Kind of got transitioned more into a support item with the Aura being the main component of the item outside of dominating a creep, but something No Tail does incredibly well is micro the creep. For scouting purposes, for stacking jungle camps, he is very good at utilizing the neutral itself. So I think he's a player that will get value out of this item where other players might not.
OG on the smoke. They might have an opening here, but the Knight has fallen in mid 1. Worst possible position for him. He balled down to the low ground and right into the entire enemy squad. He gets pulled back by the X. The timing's not right, and OG will easily clean him up. And indeed, on top of that, they'll grab the tower too. This is a big coup for them.
Yeah. You see Tide picked a lot against Drow lineups. Not so, I mean, it's kind of a counter in some ways because you can team fight into the push, but there was always this like swing back and forth. Like you defend the push with a Ravage, but then the next 2 minutes while Ravage is on cooldown, you lose a tower or two, and that's exactly what OG makes sure happens. Ravage gets used mid, they instantly go for a pickoff, find it, take an objective, and I think we're going to see that kind of continue with OG. Anytime Ravage gets used, they need to make something happen somewhere on the map, and for Secret, they need to make sure when they use a Ravage, they're winning a team fight convincingly and getting a lot of value out of the spell.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ravage about to come back online. Also do see the pipe buildup now beginning for Kezu, so Secret really emphasizing that 5-man potential in later skirmishes up against a Puck with a Veil, a Kunkka as well. There's already massive magic burst there.
Yeah, typically you think if you want to go tanky Tide with no blink, you go for the mech, and you see physical damage Drow Visage, but Drow Visage are not the farmed heroes. It's the Puck with all the items, so I do like this.
Stalking a target here. He moves on to Fly, but Fly hit the Gravekeeper's cloak, so took hardly any damage from that initial Vendetta strike. He'll be just fine.
A little bit of poke and harass. Not much coming out of it.
They got a ward down, but that was it from the smoke. Nothing else really gained.
I believe this is where OG, now with Ravage back up, are going to play more of a farm game. They've got stacks for No Tail to farm in his jungle. He's could do with a bit more in terms of items, getting up the treads, whatever else he wants to go with it, and just making sure that he can get a few more levels as well on top of that. He's only got 2 points in the aura because he's
YapzOr, he found the opening mid. Good timing on the Carapace, punishing Ana, but not enough to finish him off. He manages still to get away. Orb, phase shift, see you later. And that was a big time for him to survive. He is only 30 gold short of the blink. Looks like he should get it now.
Did that without even having to pop all those one charges. They'll get a blink on Ana around the same time S4 has his, so they can look to pair up, use these as a good initiation tool. We'll see whether or not Secret's going to be ready for some kind of aggressive maneuvers likely to come from OG's draft at this stage.
Puck has really risen to prominence in this event especially. It's like we saw it just getting banned both games by VP versus EG. OG, now when they have a chance to use it, Ana's showing off some quick fingers and doing a lot in the mid lane. Like they had that one overconfident play with the missed torrent by Jarex costing them, but had that torrent hit, that's even more of a one lane, and well, the Puck now can ramp up his impact as he helps clear the Ancients and has the blink to initiate.
Great when you can pick a hero in a draft and run it in either a mid or off lane position. Although this time they picked it up after the brew anyways, just as a good partner to go with the drow. And OG have the smoke ready, fly, ready to go. There is a Nyx Assassin right nearby though.
YapzOr could just completely blow the skank up before it even gets going.
Yeah, there's a sentry he's going to walk into, but they don't have vision near it, so they don't actually see him just yet.
Their deep maneuver.
Another sentry. They're very proactive with this detection.
It is nighttime though. Don't think No Tail saw him. Sweeping behind the tower. YapzOr moving now to the north and finds an Ancient stack here in just a moment. Gets eyes on it. Walking past the birds. He swings back around again. Gives a little love tap to one of those. And will it be a costly love tap? Carapace coming out. Good phase shift dodge there. Continuing to be on point is Ana. And now the Bruce Split committed. Nice grave by Puppey. Buys YapzOr time, but that might be it. There's the X to turn things around. The boat crashes through. Hits the tide, but he does have the hood available. They're committing a lot for this follow-up. Perhaps Ana's in too far. He wants to orb away. Look to turn the fight. As still patiently waiting, Kezu just has to find the opening for the Ravage here. Finally it comes through right as the Bruce Split ends. Do they have the follow-up damage? That's the question. They bring down No-Tail. They look for more. Locking Fly down again. Dropping rapidly on the Visage, and now Jarex on the retreat. Good slow there from MP. Surging forward. There's not a whole lot of control for him right now. The Brew blinks past him. S4 won't be able to offer a whole lot as MP gets that kill, and now with the Battle Trance can help secure the follow-up. Mid one's there, finding a fourth, looking for the fifth, but Ana is going to be too elusive. In fact, he might try to go on Kezu. Kezu, no hood for a little while.
Don't want to open to a Carapace.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's YapzOr, and there is a sentry waiting, so can he bait this by any chance? YapzOr sticking around, no creeps to reveal the sentry just yet, but that is about to change. Yeah, now YapzOr knows there's something fishy, and he'll get out.
Ana was playing the, oh, let's pretend I don't see you little trick, but creeps
hard to do that in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, creeps do not play along, unfortunately. And YapzOr will get back to safety, but a great fight from Secret, but now Ravage goes down, and again, it was a good fight, but it wasn't like a convincing one. They still lost a couple of heroes. The Bruce Split was perfectly microed from S4. They just didn't quite have the damage output to kill off the Tide with the hood build that he's gone. And the questions now come from OG if they can punish Ravage being down by taking some objectives. Jarex is like just throwing his ghost ship top. He wants to push and push fast. Just clears a creep wave with his ultimate.
Mid one does have a DD rune bottled up now. It closes in on the Bloodstone. He'll TP out. S4, not a whole lot he can do about that, but does at least try to slow down his farm progression. So we'll see YapzOr moving into position up top. Don't see any sentries right now. There is a dust on Fly, but he'll pop it, just kind of expecting YapzOr might be nearby, judging by the Tide's posture. But once again, YapzOr gets out, and gods, this is really costing OG's economy. Their supports are quite poor compared to his Nyx. Just the power of invisibility.
Yeah, I do like that Fly is being so active, buying constant sentries and dust. He dusts because his sentries aren't there, and he's like, if Nyx is on us, we could just die. I'm going to dust, and my sentries will arrive soon. So then, once the dust wears off, I'll have sentries to play around, but
it's economic damage anyway. So YapzOr is fine with that, I think, in the end.
Yep, absolutely. It's still definitely favoring Secret when you lay these sentries in dust, you want to get kills, because that's how you recoup the cost. But if you're not actually killing off the Nyx, he's only died once this game, you end up losing a lot of money. And perhaps if you're snowballing, taking towers, that's fine, but that's not really the case for OG. Ravage back up, very hard to push now.
So there's a lull in the action, gods. We're about 19 minutes in. It's a Secret lead, and you know when we opened this game, you talked about OG being on a bit of a timer. When does that timer start to expire, and what are they waiting for before they make their next move?
They're going to perhaps have a few more windows where they just hit like some key levels where they get big boost in damage, like Visage having level 2 ultimate, Brewmaster has his level 2 ulti.
Oh,
He is
that's
getting
odd.
caught, though.
Big jump in the mid lane. Mid one completely whipping on the first ball lightning, but the follow-up was there. And now deploying a volley of nukes on Ana. They look to focus him down. The heal bomb from Puppey does a lot. The boat, very ineffective as Kezu now has a completed pipe. And Secret,
Yikes.
once again, winning a fight.
Kind of approaching that point where their window may almost be gone. Like their damage output against this pipe is going to be severely negated. Puck with the Veil combo, as well as the Kunkka AoE damage is the majority of it, but...
And they're feeling like they have to take the Roche fight now. Problem is, those kills were grabbed freely without a Ravage committed. So though S4 will buy back, this is not a power play by any stretch for OG. And Secret say, we'll just walk away. The other thing is, if the magic damage is mitigated, you can't really count on physical either, gods. There's Dazzle Weave to worry about. He's now picked up a medallion. Tide, of course, is Kraken Shell. Troll has the blind, so there's a lot. Even the Vlad's pick up. Secret have itemized well to deal with physical as well as magical output from OG.
Definitely, to put it simply, OG in a lot of trouble. Are going to have to find a way to outmaneuver Secret, take a fight on their own terms, use vision to ideally like find picks on the Nyx Assassin and just set up kills on the Storm Spirit. Tide's a hero you just need to avoid. Problem is, Secret's not going to let you avoid them. They're going to keep running at you. They smoke up. Nyx ready to engage. This is potential dieback too.
So no tail. Oh, yep, and in a lot of trouble. S4 is going to go down top.
Perhaps just Roche if they want to run right there.
Brew does not have buyback. They know it's a dieback here, so if they just march into the pit, it's likely a freebie. See that dire scan already, making sure OG have not been sneaking it. But
Very concerning right now.
No-Tail has gone into a Ghost Scepter as well here on the draw.
Looking to protect himself against Troll and Storm.
But you're mentioning they don't have damage, and he has to build defensively, so it just makes it even harder to dish it out.
Yep. Can't really blame him considering his position. He's getting jumped by the Storm. The Ghost Scepter will help protect you against those overload charges.
Trying to get a little cheeky here, OG, with the X plays to ensure Ana's safe retreat, but Secret, no finesse required. Just brute forcing the Roche right now. Battle Trance committed.
5 seconds
Perhaps
for Brew.
looking for the Roche steal. Ana thinking about the jump in. Will he have the opening? Not yet, but the birds come in. Ana jumps through. Aegis on the deck. The Roshan claimed, though, by the Dire. The Aegis theirs as well. It was a gambit by OG. Perhaps a desperation one. It does not pay off. And now the chase is on. Secret hounding No-Tail on the retreat. These remnants are going to hurt even with the Ghost Scepter. He won't make it out. Mid one crashing through the back lines. 18 Bloodstone charges. Lickety split just like that. He's 50% more on the Mana regen.
This is not how OG want this game to play out with a Drow Ranger on their team, and the lane's being punished. Yapsor bullying the bottom lane has resulted in a significant Secret lead. They just crushed both bottom and top. The mid lane damage was being entirely recovered as mid one is number 2 on net worth with 18 charges, and there is little OG can do as far as team fight right now.
And it's already Yapsor hunting for these next kills. He gets eyes on S4. Storm mana pool pretty good right now with the 18 Bloodstone charges back to full. I think they're calling for this jump on S4 as he rotates in. First they're going to deal with the puck, and then they can cut off S4 at the pass if they want to jump in, but no need for that. The rest of the team says, let's just take the tower, let's focus on objectives.
Yep.
And those are also easily slain. Secret are firing on all cylinders here. A win against OG just gives them all kinds of confidence heading into tomorrow. It's only game 1, but things certainly looking very Secret favored right now.
Kezu just manning up, like posts up, says, try and initiate on me.
S4 hits the shrine for all he's worth, tries to hang on, but this Brew is forced into an extremely defensive posture. OG will force them back eventually. But no real rush here for Secret. Yep. There's a Shiva's Guard for the Tide Hunter to grab next. Certainly Storm can scale. And, you know, Refresher Tide late game is a real threat if Secret have to take it there. Blink on the Troll coming. There's plenty of room here to continue farming.
It's one of those games where it's, for them, in their minds, probably just a matter of time. Like, they probably feel like we have the better mid game, we also have the better late game. Let's just not rush it because of that. If an opportunity presents itself for a pick-off into a high ground push, sure, we'll take it. But if we can't do anything with this advantage of ours for now, we'll just keep farming.
Look who it is again. It's Yapsor in position. This time, though, OG are ready. He takes the courier down with him. Maybe the reinforcements arrive in time. Not quite. Kezu was in the neighborhood mid, but no blink and no ravage for 10 seconds. So it's still a courier kill.
Yeah,
even then, it's
kind kind of an even trade.
It's an even gold trade, really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Early gem pickup from Kunkka. This is like we're getting completely screwed right now. We've got to buy a gem. There's no second thoughts on this one. You lose all your outer towers. That's where you need the gem even more because you want to deny that dire vision. If you try and move out of the map when you've got no towers and Secret's got the map control, they're going to see you. They're going to hunt you down. They'll pick you off. So it's crucial to de-ward and always have eyes on the Nyx Assassin right now. But it's still like one of those like play from behind gems where it's not going to necessarily solve a lot of their problems.
Did use a blink there to dodge away from Kezu, but Secret were interested in going on him. The X by Jerex, not something that's OG looked to follow up. And now Secret falling up again in the middle lane.
Potential with this invis room, but the rest of the team smoking up. They'd love to try and burst Dazzle and Nyx first.
MP also in position to break this. He's got a blink if he's quick, but as you mentioned, Ana coming from behind could be a huge coil. Big opportunity. They jump Puppey early, trying to bring him down. Quickly, they pop the smoke up to C to try to disengage Secret. So cycloning the Tidehunter up in the air, keeping him out of position for now while they focused on No-Tail Secret, trying to bring him down, but the Ghost Scepter does a decent amount to keep him alive. X coming through as well, not very effective in this particular case. Down goes No-Tail, and now as the Bruce split ends, perhaps we see that follow-up chase. Mid one still a healthy mana pool, 20 charges for him. Jumping towards Ana, if he can get the pull. Ana's in a lot of trouble. Does manage to do it. S4 there with the 3-hero clap connection, but they need the follow-up stuns to come out from Fly. Chasing forward on the Eps with the Carapace well-timed and could put the Visage in harm's way. Jumping in again. Mid one, he's got a little too much regen for OG to deal with. Now turning back for Fly. The Impales there from Secret just outlasting them. Superior stamina for Secret down the stretch. They'll find 3. They fight their way right through the big team fight combo. They only drop the Troll and even still have the Aegis after all that.
22 charges for mid one. What are you going to do to deal with this Storm? There is no answer in sight. They had the vision advantage. They had the invis puck. They jumped the Dazzle as you have to. It's kind of like this catch-22. It's like, you know you've got to kill the Dazzle because anyone else you go in is going to get saved by him. But at the same time, you use your key spells, your Bruce split, your puck combo on a Dazzle. If they can get him, ideally they want like a hero to be sitting right next to the Dazzle so they can dump puck spells on both heroes since they're AoE, but they didn't quite line up so they could get an easy second kill. Troll did go down, but it was still a big win for Secret there. Storm getting more farm, Storm getting more charges means this game gets harder and harder for OG to play.
Yeah, running a Drow lineup, building into very defensive items for No-Tail and more like mid-game timing focused items as well. Nobody went greedy this game. OG with pretty mediocre scaling potential given all those considerations. Visage, sure, a support that can scale, but he ain't scaling with this farm. And again, so much of that, gods, it goes back to the Nyx pick. Like the economic damage he's done, just forget about the kills for a second. It's thousands of gold that had to be spent just to try and keep eyes on him between the gem, the sentries, the dust, and he's still getting kills on top of that. And as well as limiting their farm.
He completely shut down this Drow Ranger. And without top lane able to do well, it meant OG are in a tough spot. Another smoke coming out. This could be really the last hurrah in some ways from OG.
Barring a big fight.
Yeah, they need this fight to go well. If Storm somehow wins this one as well.
He's got a regen bottled. He's in prime opportunity to make big plays. Mid one jumping in, starts the party, gets the first kill, and now turning to the Visage. Nice stun from the low ground. Make it 2, gem down as well. Familiar is even in danger. And MP hunting through the trees, looks for No-Tail, Ghost Scepter, perhaps the savior. Balling in mid one, has no electric vortex to lock him down, but 15,000 gold. All red on the net worth bar.
Well, that's
all Secret at this point.
Yeah, the gem swing is, in my mind,
oh,
game
Ana's
over.
feeling the desperation now. Walks right into a Carapace and right into his own demise. Even the Courier's getting on the action, and it's got a Yule Scepter too. Ouch. That's a costly pickoff, and OG are crumbling in front of the onslaught presented by Secret. They find another. It's one to the next No-Tail. Popping the shrine and trying to run. Not going to make it very far. The Bruce split easily dealt with. OG have had enough. Secret come out all guns a-blazing here in game one.
No racks down, but completely wiped. I think a lot of other teams other than OG would have called that one even earlier, but OG, one of the better team fighting lineups out there, thought they could maybe try and put together one last